I'm Brooke.
I'm Ellie.
And I'm Harper.
And we are so excited for this week's podcast of Gateway Girls. We have a very special guest with us this week. This is my wonderful roommate, Nat Harper.
Hey, how are you doing?
And we are so excited to talk to her about all things St. Louis. Harper is from Ohio, but came to St. Louis for college. And we just want to know, what you enjoyed about going to school here, how you found the St. Louis culture, and we're very sad that she's leaving, but she'll be back.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
It's true. I'll return.
She'll be visiting. She'll definitely return.
Yeah.
No, she'll definitely return.
For sure.
So do you want to answer any and all of those questions?
Yeah. Well, as you mentioned, I'm from Ohio, and it's a very similar vibe. Like any upper Midwest people, I love St. Louis. It's very similar to Columbus, where I'm from. But what I love is that the winters are like a joke here compared to where I'm from. The weather is much nicer. However, that also means in the summer it gets really hot, and that was a big adjustment for me. I had an outdoor job last summer, and so those 100-degree days, it just doesn't get that hot where I'm from. So the trade-off though of having a much more tame winter and more sunshine, I will definitely take it, but still having the Midwest vibes. Everyone is so nice.
It just, do you have the humidity too? In Ohio, is the humidity as bad?
No, I don't think it's as humid. Okay. I just as my summer job, I was just so sticky, and it was the summertime is a little rough for me here, but I do enjoy the sunshine, so I just tried to stay in the shade, and I was okay.
Yeah. And did you have a favorite neighborhood in St. Louis or an area that you really loved?
God, I love Webster Groves. I'm just saying. This is where we went to school. I love Webster Groves it's just such a cute, charming town. I love there's all the century homes in Webster Groves. Yeah. And I really love looking at those. I'm kind of a fan of architecture. Yeah. So looking at their really old century homes is cool. And the library in Webster Groves is super, super old as well. And they've done a lot of renovations to make it really nice. But I also love Central West End. I have to say, the houses over there are beautiful. And also Laclede's Landing, and you can see the arch down at Laclede's Landing. I saw those really old historic houses. I think of those classic, if you ever seen the movie Meet Me in St. Louis. Yeah. Just those classic Kensington Avenue houses. I mean, they're beautiful.
And the Muni is doing Meet Me in St. Louis this summer. Yes. Yeah, I'm so excited for that.
Oh, and fun fact too, just about Meet Me in St. Louis, the movie, those houses were over by IKEA. That's where those houses were.
They've been torn down. Torn down, I don't think Kensington Avenue exists anymore. But those houses were real houses. Yeah. The addresses that were in Meet Me in St. Louis.
Yeah. Something that was cool about Harper and I living in the college house that we lived in was our house got a 100-year plaque while we were living in it.
Yeah. I came home one day and they had put the plaque on the front of our house.
We were like, what's this? And then we looked at it and we were like, oh my gosh, and it was recognized.
What's cool about the century homes too is it will say who built the house. And so I think that's really cool is there's a lot of history, and you can go to the library and see those old records of who built the houses, who originally lived here over 100 years ago. There's houses in this area that are almost 150 years old, I think. And a lot of the buildings on Webster's campus too are historical, and it's really cool. The inventor of Tums owned one of the houses. I learned that. I was like, that's pretty cool.
No, that's so cool. Would you recommend St. Louis as a good college town for kids wanting to move to college or even post grad? Would you recommend St. Louis as a city?
Yeah, I would say yes. I like it because I think people here are very friendly, and you kind of have everything you need without it being super overwhelming. I love the art scene here. I think it's awesome. I mean, talk about the Muni, Repertory Theater of St. Louis, Stages St. Louis, the Fox downtown, the Sheldon. So many music and theater venues. So if you're into any of the arts, this is a great place to be. There's a dance studio on every corner in St. Louis. So I really love that aspect of it. The only thing I think is a little tricky is that I think you kind of have to have a car. Public transportation is not the best in St. Louis, but I will say it's still a good city without being overwhelming. Like, going to New York could be a lot, like any of those major cities. So I like that it just feels a little more homey to me.
Yeah.
So I've really enjoyed living here, and yeah, I'm sure I'll definitely be back in the future.
One thing Brooke and I talk about a lot is the affordability in St. Louis compared to other cities, and that's something that we love and we, try to promote on our podcast about. Like, you can, come to St. Louis, live affordably, still do things, but still be in a great city, in a great area with a lot of cool, rich cultural, activities. And so that's something that we both really like about St. Louis.
Yeah. What's like your favorite affordable thing that you've done so far in St. Louis?
Well, the gas prices.
No! Oh god.
Yeah, kind of like everything's cheaper in Missouri.
Yeah.
Where I'm from.
Don't go to Illinois.
Yeah,
You're spending $1 more in taxes.
Exactly. Yeah, no. Truly, everything's cheaper in Missouri. I mean, a lot of my friends went to school like in the city, out in DC or New York or whatever, and I mean,
it's insane.
It's insane. Like the prices are insane. So it's part of why I moved to Missouri is that really everything, food, cost of living, honestly, like just the basics like gas, groceries, all of that. Our rent, I feel like too. Just really the cost of living is a lot more affordable, and the theater here is also really affordable. There's a lot of theaters that also have like young friends programs or like student discounts and are really like encouraging younger people especially to come out and see the arts. So I think
that's a great shout too. Harper and I went to an event at the Muni somewhat recently, and we found out that you can join as a Muni Friends for $40 a year, which is
you get discounted tickets, perks, like it's awesome.
I have never seen a young friends program that cost effective. Yeah.
It was really nice, and I think, I don't want to misspeak, but I think Opera Theater of St. Louis stages, the rep, like I think all of them have some sort of student discount at least. Or like senior discount and all sorts of stuff. So, and I typically think that the ticket prices are already pretty fair. Like I will say,
I agree.
They're pretty reasonably priced. Like again, obviously New York, bigger cities, it gets really crazy. So I just enjoy being able to go out and not like break the bank all the time.
Yeah.
What would you say has been your favorite St. Louis spot? Like, did you have a go-to spot when you were in college, or something that like you just kept going back to? Really putting her on the spot here. Yeah.
Dang. Well, I like to eat.
Yes.
So probably gonna be like a restaurant. Okay, this is controversial, and I don't get it all the time.
I think I know where this is going.
I do like emos.
Yes.
Okay, it's very hit or miss. But if you've never been to St. Louis, like you've got to try it at least once. My family, every time we're in town, we get emos. At my graduation, we got emos.
Did you?
Yeah, because like we weren't coming back for a long time. So we're like, we gotta get it one last time before we leave. So I love emos, and so
What do you get there? I have to be honest, I still have never been to emos. Which I actually feel like is sad now that we're like doing a St. Louis podcast. I feel like I've got to actually try.
Episode, get an emos pizza. I'm serious.
Try it. We should do that.
It has Provel cheese on it, which is the provolone mozzarella mix.
Not FDA approved.
Not FDA approved, but you can get it at like every store in St. Louis. I've never seen it anywhere else.
It just sounds, I like it. It sounds
delicious.
It's good. It's a thin crust pizza.
Like a cracker.
Yeah, like a cracker crust. If you like a thin crust pizza.
Okay.
Thin crust pizza with Provel cheese. I really like it, so I always find myself going back. I also like T-Ravs, the toasted ravs.
Oh, absolutely.
Toasted ravs too. And what's crazy, you can find them in stores too. I've never seen them anywhere else, but like in every store you can get toasted ravioli. So I'm definitely gonna miss that. And yeah, I think those are my go-tos. I also really love Treehouse downtown. It's
I've never been there.
A completely vegetarian, vegan, friendly restaurant.
Oh, nice!
Downtown. Yeah, I really like. It's called Treehouse, and it's
rug.
Really delicious. And they have good mocktails too. If you're not like a drinker, but you like a good fancy mocktail, Treehouse is really cute.
That's so cool. That's so cool.
That's good to know. So one of the reasons why we also wanted to have Harper come and join our podcast is she and her friend have started a podcast of their own. So do you want to just plug your podcast and how that journey's been for you? You know, are you liking it? Are you having fun? What have you found with it?
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about like what you talk about too.
Yeah. Okay. So you could tell I have a comedy podcast. I have a comedy podcast with my co-host Kennedy Jones. It's called Nat and Ken Learn Things. You can find us on Instagram. I think Nat and Ken Pod or Nat and Ken Learn Things. It's also on my Instagram at that Nat Harper on Instagram. And I love podcasting, but it's a lot of work, especially because we do multicam. So we have a multicam setup, multi-mic setup. So it's a pretty high tech endeavor, but I also am such a perfectionist. I spend a lot of time editing, and probably like every minute of footage, I would say takes me about 3 minutes to edit. So yeah, those hour-long episodes are brutal. It's usually a few hours of editing, but I really enjoy it and getting to like share fun stories and just have a lot of fun. If you're looking for a good laugh, go look up Nat and Ken Learn Things on YouTube. We have some good content up there. But yeah, and I was so excited when I heard that you guys were starting your podcast because it's so fun. It's so much fun.
It's so much fun. Yeah.
We are having fun with it.
And Brooke and I both, you know, and I feel like you and Kennedy can relate to this. The two of us just talk constantly.
Yeah.
And we were like, well, we might as well just turn this into a podcast.
Well, and it's such a great excuse to hang out with your friends. Like, you know, and just get friends on the pod and like, you know, life is so busy. So it's good to capture those moments and have a good excuse to, you know, see your friends. So.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And I feel like you can learn things about each other the more you talk. Because, like, we talk constantly, but having, like, actual topics and stuff to talk about, you kind of, like, dig deeper into, like, who that person is and, you know, just, I think it's fun.
Yeah.
Definitely. Now we're at the part of our podcast where we share our gateway or gatekeep. This is where we give you some insight into a popular St. Louis place, restaurant thing, activity, anything St. Louis related. But on this podcast, we never gatekeep. We always gateway. So Harper, do you want to share your St. Louis gateway?
Yes. I've been thinking, and it has to be the Foundry, which is this food court. It's downtown. It's like right by the IKEA. And I love it because anytime my family's in town, everybody can get something that they like. They truly have every type of food. My favorite vendor is Galactic Burgers. I love their loaded fries. You can get all sorts of crazy toppings. So I love Galactic Burger. They also have really great like vegan, vegetarian, Mediterranean food. Truly every stand there is so good. And they have like a whole stand of toasted wraps too. So if you want to try some, it's a good place to go.
I think one thing we've learned about you from this podcast is that you love toasted wraps.
I love toasted wraps and I love to eat.
Yes. I love it. I love to eat. Okay, I'll do another food related thing too because I also love to eat. Shocker. I love Union Bagels in Webster Groves. I'm gonna be sad to not be in walking distance to it anymore. It is such like a great little bagel shop. My favorite flavor is the cacio e pepe spread.
Oh.
Exactly.
Good.
Exactly. So that's my rec. That's my gateway.
Yeah. Mine is actually toasted wrap related. It's Charlie Gito's on the Hill, and that's actually where their toasted wraps originated. So yeah, so cool. So yeah, Charlie Gito's on the Hill. That's my go-to. Or my gateway. Yeah, it's just delicious. So
yeah. Well, Harper, we can't thank you enough for joining our podcast, and make sure you go like and follow Harper's podcast to see all the fun things that Harper and Kennedy are learning.
Oh yeah, we learned some things.
Well, I think that's a wrap for this week's episode. We'll see you all next week. Bye.